Welcome back to Newsmax Prime. A strong warning has been issued by the Obama administration to China. The State Department says Chinese agents are operating secretly in the U.S. to intimidate Chinese expatriates. Some wanted under alleged corruption charges. They want them to return to China. This warning against Operation Fox Hunt, as it is being called by the Chinese government, demonstrates how tensions between the United States and China continue to rise. All this ahead of the Chinese president's visit to Washington next month. For more on this, from Newsmax Washington, we welcome in the Vice President for Research and Analysis at the Center for Security Policy, Clare Lopez. And Skyping in from Big Sky Country out in Montana, the Chairman of Stand Up America, retired Army Major General Paul Vallely. Clare, first to you. We know that both the Chinese and U.S. governments have covert presence, in other words, spies in each country. Why does this particular effort concern U.S. intelligence officials?
Well, I think it's because the Chinese are sending these undercover agents in order to hunt down and to pressure their nationals or former nationals, and to pressure them by threatening family members, for instance, back home in China. And they have no authority to do that on U.S. soil. The proper approach would be to work with the Department of Justice if there is a legitimate, outstanding legal issue involved. Now, of course, China and the U.S. do not have an extradition treaty. But the proper way to work something like this, if they're genuinely looking for actual fugitives from the law in China, would be through the U.S. Department of Justice, and they're not doing that.
So, Paul, we take a look at what's going on with China. We know about the cyber hacking of the Pentagon and trying to get a hold of the personnel files of people working for the government. In the marketplace, we see a devaluation of the yuan, their currency. Will this latest effort here on our own soil really create problems for U.S.-Chinese relations prior to their president's visit to the White House next month?
I think you can add it to the list. Claire said is absolutely right on the cyber terrorism was probably the biggest threat, the expansion of their military capability in the Pacific. But this just adds to friction, which the Obama administration seems to be very good at, creating friction between countries and us. So how they're going to solve it, I don't know. But Operation Fox Hunt is after their expatriates in this country, or what they may call fugitives. And they can't get away with that as well because these people are on U.S. soil.
About 2.5 minutes remain. Let me switch topics because I need to get your thoughts on this. The U.S. Embassy in Turkey announced that our nation will pull Patriot missiles out of that region for, quote, critical modernization upgrades. Claire, is this curious timing after what we saw with the air raids being prosecuted from Turkey against ISIS?
There are a lot of curious circumstances occurring at the moment, and yeah, I do think that this is suspicious timing. If I had to take a guess at it, I would think that it might have something to do with the current deal on the table between the United States and Iran. These Patriot missiles are designed to take out, they're a missile defense system designed to take out other missiles. Those missiles are probably not coming from ISIS. The missiles that they were designed to intercept when those Patriot missiles were placed there many years ago, way before the Islamic State rose to power. I suspect this has something to do with the Iran deal.
Well, that's very curious. Paul, you just mentioned that this administration has a propensity for creating conflict with curious timing. What is your take on the reason these missiles are being pulled out?
Well, if you go back, the reason they were put in, I think in 2013, was a surface air capability, giving the Turks there at Incirlik Air Force Base a capability to take down Assad's Air Force, because you remember Assad took out one of the Turkish jets, and that's what precipitated this battalion going in there. So I don't know why they're taking them out. I mean, they've been really of no effective use over there. They haven't been used with 300 soldiers there with this battalion. So, there's no problem in taking it out as I see, but I think it's right what Claire said. It's all tied into the Russian-Iran Assad nexus there. And, we're playing from the outside now, but now we're trying to cozy up to not only Russia, but Assad and Iran. It's a crazy situation at best, JD.
And crazy, yeah, and unsettling for certain. General Paul Vallely from Montana tonight, and Clare Lopez from Newsmax Washington. You have our thanks. Now, you heard what they had to say. Do you agree with it? We would love to get your comments, and the best way to send us comments, sure, there are all forms of social media, but really, this is the best way. Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. There's more straight ahead as Newsmax Prime continues.